What's the strangest thing you have seen someone do at the gym? One of my first jobs was working in a gym daycare. Honestly, a great job. You could drop your child off for a maximum of 2 hours, but we were really relaxed with that rule. Rarely did anyone go over that, and if they did, it wasn't a big deal. Until we got this one mom. She'd drop her baby off and literally leave the gym. She'd be gone for 4 hours sometimes, and we had to get the manager involved. Her husband showed up one day looking for her. Shocker, his baby was there but not his spouse. Turns out she was cheating on him. And I got to witness the confrontation firsthand. I literally just wanted to take care of the kids and babies and somehow got sucked into a love affair. Wow, some people are just absolute pieces of work. Well, you don't want the kid to see how a half-sibling is made. I had an older gentleman, late 60s. English is second language. From the Philippines, Slim, come up to me and ask in broken English if he could watch me work out. So I let him. He followed me to every exercise, took notes, smiled, and said thank you after each set. At the end of my workout, he came up to me and asked what days and times I go to the gym. This started getting weirder by the moment, but I was truthful with him. Fast forward to the next day, there he was, doing the exact workout I did the day before. He came up to me, said hello, and asked to watch me again. He did this for a few days straight. Basically, he had no idea what to do for workouts or how to ask for help with them, so he wanted to use mine. I was totally creeped out at first, but that guy still goes to the gym to this day, and he always says hi to me. He even got the same headphones as me now and always has a huge smile on his face. It's the weirdest yet most sincere compliment I've ever received at the gym. Personal trainers hate this one weird trick. Imitation truly is the sincerest form of flattery. Very wholesome story. It's awesome that people are always willing to help. When I first started, I would go up to the biggest guys and ask for advice on whatever machine or workout I was going to try that day, and I was never once told no or made to feel like I didn't belong. Now I have multiple gym buddies, and it makes it easier to go on the days I have to force myself. Oh wow, a similar thing happened to me too. The only difference is that the next day, when I saw him working out, he was using every exercise and machine I hadn't done. Sounds like exciting and gym entertainment. Lost his fantasy league. One guy came in dressed in his gym clothes, walked around with a steel bowl full of chicken and mayo, ate it, and then left. Yeah, I go to the gym. He didn't skip leg day. Or thigh day. Or wing day. At my gym, there was a guy who would blindfold himself with his beanie, pulling it down over his eyes to concentrate. He had good coordination, but it was so funny to watch. At my gym, some strange incidents happened recently. Person A returned men's t-shirt and undergarment that he had taken from the changing rooms. Then, Person B asked me if I could return a device he had left in his locker overnight, which we had removed. This all unfolded after Person C was caught behaving inappropriately in the hot tub. A female member noticed him, walked over, and loudly exclaimed, "This man is not behaving." I could probably think of more bizarre stories if I tried. People are certainly interesting. There was some dude who kept coming over between sets and taking weights off my bar instead of using the rack next to him. He even acted annoyed when I asked him to stop. There was an older guy next to my buddy and me who kept talking to himself while working out. He would say things like, "I'm the lion, I'm not a sheep. I'm a beast, you can't stop this." It was all pretty funny because this guy was completely focused and dead serious. Hilarious. I once stood next to a guy who started his set by saying, "Who are you calling snot-nose?" I was in the locker room when an older guy stood in front of the mirror and started saying, "That's a man. That's a real man." I turned around and left. I used to go to a gym that, in retrospect, was 100% a hookup spot for older, Closeted gay men. Silly young, naive me, I just thought that all gyms had the very comfortable with my naked self older men. But as I started going to other gyms as I got older, I realized that I was very wrong. Every day I went, I'd see at least 5 men aged 50 or older, just hanging around, and literally doing nothing in the locker room. I'd only go in and out to use the bathroom, so I assumed they were in the middle of changing or something. At the same gym, there was an older Asian woman who would come to the gym completely decked out in a $200 plus gym outfit, with her hair and makeup done as if she was going out for the night. She would sit down on a machine and never even do anything that resembled exercise. This was back in the early 2000s, so she didn't have a phone and wasn't an influencer or anything like that. I think about her all the time and wonder what her deal was. She didn't show up with anyone else, so it's not like she was going to be a cheerleader for her husband or anything. She showed up by herself and just sat and did nothing. I always thought she was looking to get hit on, but little did she know, the gym was full of older men who probably wanted nothing to do with her, or maybe her husband was hiding out in the showers all the time, and that's why I never saw him. I was talking to one of my friends who I used to work out with at that gym. He, independently of me, came to the same conclusion about it being a hot spot for older gay men. I worked for 2 high-end fitness corporations over the past decade in management, and I've seen some strange things. The weirdest incidents always occurred in the locker room. We used to call the men's locker room the Wild West. Here are some of my favorites. A naked man applying hair dye. A naked man swinging his towel in front of a hair dryer he placed on the counter. A naked man eating lunch. A naked man using a laptop while cutting his toenails. An angry older naked man yelling at me because all of the shaving cream was empty. One of the trainer's female clients forgot her gym clothes, so she did her full training session wearing a bathing suit. Tons of incorrect equipment usage. One man used to use a rower and only row on one side, as if he were paddling a kayak in circles. There is an older dude I see sometimes who kind of interpretive dances with the elliptical machine. He never just gets on and uses it, he hops on one side and does a couple of pumps, then hops off and pushes a couple of rotations with his hand. Then he hops on backwards, then hops off and kind of dances. He just keeps going at it for about 30 minutes or so, randomly using the machine in every way except how it was intended to be used. I have not seen him use another machine, he just paces around. I once saw him in the parking lot, and he was parked at a very odd angle to a planter bed that was not a parking spot. This dude is definitely marching to the beat of his own drummer.
Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.